Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills.
So, George, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. So joining me this week is a man that's actually 12 hours ahead of me. What's been amazing in RC is the people that I've been able to meet around the world, and even what I still find shocking is that people still listen to me ramble on for hours from all over the world. I've gotten to know people from all over the world and talk to them, know their stories, and I like to find out what's going on in their region RC wise. So we have a JQ race in Malaysia. He's named Adam Fikri. I always pronounce his name wrong. Yes, I talk to his father quite a lot. We've become good friends, and he's always talking about George Coleman. So I wanted to get him on. We could talk about RC in Malaysia. He's got a cool story how he got over there. He's a Kyosho man. You guys know how I feel about Kyosho, but it's all right. I'm only joking. Welcome, George. How are you, man?
Not too bad. How are you doing, Lefty?
I'm all right, man. I'm just chilling. It's 9 o'clock in the morning for me here. It's 9 o'clock at night for you. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And welcome to the welcome to the No Name RC podcast, man. For those that don't know, George lives in Malaysia. He's very involved in the Malaysian RC scene, and I like to learn about and RC scenes because I always say RC is small, but it's big. It's done all over the world. We just don't know where it's done. So, George, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from originally, and how did you get over to Malaysia and end up living there and getting into RC?
So, well, originally I'm actually from South Wales in the UK. So I was raised in Wales. Although I've forgotten all my Welsh. I used to be able to speak Welsh. When I was in school, I'd speak Welsh. When I was at home, then speaking in English. So I've forgotten all of that. So I lived in the UK until I was around 18. Then after that, I kind of moved around a bit with my work, which is in the oil and gas sector. So I lived in Spain for some time. I was there before I came to Malaysia, and then I was asked to do one job in Malaysia, which is over on the east side of Malaysia. So I went over there. It was only supposed to be for like a couple of months, and actually I saw the place. Some nice girls around and things, and the beer's good, it's cheap, and it was just very, very nice people to meet with. And so I ended up just staying. I never actually went back. I think I went back for about a month just to go and sort out all my stuff I had.
Really?
That was it. Yeah, I just ended up staying. That was almost 20 years ago now.
Wow. Wow.
So I've lived longer in Malaysia than I have anywhere else in the world.
Our stories are very similar. I moved here to the DR when I was in 2006, but I had been traveling here since 1995. Always dreamt of living here, but after my accident, I've been living here since 2006. Life's been an adventure. It's the same thing. Like I came down here, fell in love with the country, like beautiful women, cold beer everywhere, just a free life, freedom. Like, you know what I mean? Just a whole different style of life altogether. And I've adapted pretty good, and I love it here.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of the pictures you've been posting.
Oh yeah,
there's some mad stuff that goes on over there, right?
Oh yeah, that's not even half of it, man. It's crazy over here. It's the Wild West here.
Yeah.
So I get it. We're very similar. Like we lived in different countries. I think I'm going on 16 years living here almost. Yeah, 16 next year.
Yeah.
So good stuff, man.
Did you learn the language?
I do speak Spanish, not perfectly, but Dominicans speak very, very fast, very slangy Spanish. Like a lot of people think Spanish is all the same, but it's like English. In different countries, they speak it differently. I like to relate that Dominicans speak Spanish like Jamaicans or people from the islands speak English with accent, very, very slangy patois. And it's very fast. So I understand it. I can talk it. But say, for instance, if it's somebody from Spain or somebody who speaks it properly, I can understand them perfectly. They may not understand me perfectly. But the good thing is my Spanish has helped me out in my jobs that I've been to. So, I've worked around the world as well in the tunnel industry. And each job that I've been to, I've had to use my Spanish because there were guys there that spoke Spanish only, so it's pretty. It's come in handy.
Yeah.
So, 20 years in Malaysia.
Yeah.
You still working in the oil the oil and gas sector of
Yeah.
in
So
Malaysia?
I've still got the company. It's actually my father's company.
Okay.
My father actually around 5 years ago he moved back to Europe. So I'm still looking after the company out here.
Nice.
So still doing that. Then motorsports as well. So I've got a little corner in for the motorsports. So I've got the workshop, and a friend of ours has got the dyno machine and things in there. So I keep that going. Also, then with the RC stuff. So I'm the distributor for Reds in Malaysia as well.
Okay.
So yeah, keep myself busy with everything.
Yeah, you got to send me some pictures of the shop, man, with the car. You was telling me about. You have a Sky. What was it? A V.
Yeah, V35 Skyline. It's actually in the US. It's the Infinity G35. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what it is now.
Yeah, that's not in my shop at the moment. I've got that in my front
Okay.
in my car park space. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Staying at home, just on my own,
Right.
and
So
working on the car.
so what was it really like? I know you said it was a really good life, but what's kept you in Malaysia all these years? It's something that uniquely that you like that keeps you there.
Actually, to be honest with you, I've never had anything that's tied me down,
Mm.
and it's never been getting married or anything else like that. It's more because I've got the company is here, and I've been working with the company, so I've always just stayed here. And the people that work with us, they're just awesome people, and I don't really want to let them down or anybody
Right.
else. And so I've hoped. I think that ties me here more than anything else.
Mhm.
But the people are really friendly around here. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you get your crime and things like you do anywhere,
Right.
but it's not as high. I mean, if it was in the UK, I think it'd be a lot higher. But you don't see any problems here. See some arguments and things, people being silly.
Yeah. Do you
But
speak the language?
boleh lah. Saya boleh cakap bahasa Melayu. Kalau
Okay.
sikit tak boleh banyak. Yes.
What do they call their language in Malaysia? Is it just
It's
Malaysian or
bahasa,
excuse
it's
me?
bahasa Melayu.
Bahasa Malayo. Okay.
Yeah, Melayu.
Interesting, man. I mean, I, I think one of the key things also when you move to a country that's not yours, I find
Yeah.
a lot of people they like to or they want to like I think Joseph suffered from this when he went to Philippines, and I told him don't you gotta it's different. You know, it's different. It's third world over there in the Philippines, a little more laid back. It's very similar to the Dominican Republic. And I said, you got to think like you do in Europe, but you got to you got to learn how to adapt to how things are really done.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I had to do that too. And you know, when a guy tells you his comment at in an hour, it really means 2 or 3. And you know, it's nice when he does come on time. And he just couldn't adapt to that. And I think a lot of people that move to foreign countries or countries that they're not used to growing up in, if they can adapt to the culture but still maintain, you know, like that thinking like, okay, I know back home this is the way things are done, but here this is the way things are done. So I think once you master that, it becomes a lot easier.
It's a lot easier when you do get into that way of life. You know, you're never going to change how the way of life is here. And
Exactly.
I see so many expats that are over here, and they expect it to be done the way it is in like in Europe or something, and it doesn't happen like that. You just got to expect it.
And that's why
Um,
I got away from Bermuda and all that type of stuff
yeah,
because it's done things are done differently here.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's really different. Most of my friends are all Malay.
Yeah.
They're all
There you go.
either Malay, Chinese Malay, or Indian Malay. So a lot of them, I always move in them circles,
Awesome.
and so it does make life a bit easier
Mhm. And it's
for
good to learn the
myself.
culture of the country that you're living in and adapt it somehow and understand it because then you can you can just understand the people a lot better and just how things work. So awesome job and adapting to that. So RC,
You
dude.
got to learn the languages.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's very important. I know
Yeah,
people
I
live
mean,
here 20 years
if
and they
you're in
can't even
somebody's,
speak.
yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah,
So
if you go into somebody's country, and try and put the effort in. You don't have to speak the whole language, but they enjoy it when you try and speak another. You try and mix in.
yes, I agree.
Mm.
We're very similar in that extent. Like I have a buddy, he speaks perfect English, but I always speak to him in Spanish. And it pisses my other buddy off who comes on her to visit. And he's like, "What are you always speaking in Spanish?" I said, "It's just normal. They said you should learn some Spanish." All right, man. Sounds good. I hope to visit Asia one day. Malaysia is definitely on the list. I like to go to like Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, and do that all in one go.
You got some good countries in there, yeah. Indonesia, you can't miss out Indonesia.
Really? Okay, I gotta check it out.
No.
I'm not scared to go anywhere, man. I travel anywhere. All right, so we brought you on here because you're really big into the RC community in Malaysia. You're good friends with Mick Craddock. I like Mick a lot. He's been on this podcast a couple times. I enjoy his banter and good dude.
He's all right.
I call him Captain Kyosho. Hey, if it's man, he is Kyosho for life till death. So I love it. You don't see that. You don't see that. You do not see that much in life, especially in anything in life, is somebody sticking with a brand for so long, and he's been there for all that time. And
well, that's one of the things I love about Mick. You know, he's Kyosho through and through. I mean, my car, I've always been Kyosho. I've never stepped away from Kyosho. I've got a couple of other car brands because Kyosho haven't had a car for it. But it's no, I've just been Kyosho all the way. I started when I was I must have been about 7 or something.
Really? So how did that start for you? What was your first exposure to RC?
It was actually it was a Christmas present, I think, from my father. He got me my first kit, and
remember what it was?
It was the Radar. I actually went through this with Mick actually a few months ago. Yeah, it was the Kyosho Radar. It was a two-wheel drive buggy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's going back a long time. Then.
Oh yes. So you was definitely Kyosho from the start. First car ever Kyosho.
Oh yeah.
Oh my, you Kyosho. Oh man, I love it. Just no good back. Let me get one thing straight.
Kyosho, you never go back.
I don't dislike Kyosho, but my long life dislike for Kyosho is that my buddy used to race it and Kyosho and Mugen used to battle back in the day. They were the only two decent cars. But I'll be honest, the Kyosho car was way better, and the Mugen just was trying to catch up. But I like to be in the underdog, and he would beat me. He was a better driver. I was a better mechanic. He would beat me if he was faster. I would beat him if he had a mistake. I could get him on a day, but it was just Kyosho versus Mugen. So it's always been a long-standing rivalry for me. And I always talk crap to Kyosho drivers. But, you can't argue if they're...
We all talk crap.
Yeah, you can't argue with their record, man. And unlike Joseph, who says they're going to go under, who still thinks they're going to go under, I don't agree with him. I think Kyosho is killing it with the Mini Z. And I think it's really killing it with the Mini Z and everything else that they do. So...
Yeah.
All right, so you get your first car. It's an RC car. Did you ever do any racing while you was in the UK, or did that start when you came to Malaysia?
I did very minimal racing when I was in the UK, because I had no one around because my mother and father had separated. My father was always in the offshore industry, so it's very hard trying to get to races and things. It's not like now where you can get Grab and things. It's very easy to get around these days. So it was. I only did a very little bit. I think I did probably about a year and a half. I think that was about it. And it was actually what we're talking about. Mick was a friend of his, Stuart. I used to go to his model shop, which was many years ago in Stevenage, and that was where I used to buy all my parts. And I used to live.
Really?
We didn't actually know that until I was around at Mick's house when we were talking about it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Small
world.
It is. It's a very small world. So the racing really didn't start for me until I came to Malaysia.
And how did that happen?
Because my son, who lives in Indonesia, my stepson, I wanted to get him a car or something just to do some father-son sort of things. And I thought, well, if I've got him one, I better get one as well. And he was doing okay. He was living in Malaysia with me for a while, and he started with the racing, but then he found all the girls and the the shopping and the malls and things, and so I'm like, right, okay, that was him away, and I just continued on with the racing. And
so, how long has it been since you? When was that? How long ago was that?
So I think seriously started racing was probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was always into the cars and things and airplanes and whatnot. probably fly a lot more airplanes while I was in Malaysia with my father. But the cars was probably a bit more serious. Was in what was that? It must have been 2015 because I went to the Worlds in 2016. So I think I'd started just before that. It was around 2014, 2015.
Oh, you got the bug and it bit you hard. I know all about that.
Oh, it did, yeah. Then, because at that point I started to hang around with a couple of the guys, and then we got the Malaysian six or seven time champion David Lim. So I got to talking with him, and he started then training me and teaching me how to do things and how to properly maintain the car. I was always struggling with that sort of side of things and how to glue the tires. So he's been traveling with me for a lot of years as my mechanic.
Nice.
It's quite funny actually because he's a far superior driver to me.
Does he still race?
He doesn't. He did race earlier this year, of which I was trying to beat him, but I lost position due to a flame out, I think it was. But so he doesn't race so much now. He does it just as a hobby. Just if he's got time, then he'll come down and drive the car and do some testing. He sells a lot of the products for like UR and things, and helps me out with the Reds. His tuning's a lot better than mine is.
I wasn't aware that hiring mechanics for racers was a thing until in Asia, until I was talking to Bro, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hire this mechanic." You don't see that much, like in my obviously the top guys may have mechanics, but I understand it.
It's nice to have the mechanics, but it's not needed. I mean, I'll try and persuade people not to get the mechanic,
right?
Because you got if you work on the car, you know exactly that it's right. I've been working with David for such a long time, and I know that his work is very good. I know that he's very detailed. And when you're running like maybe 2 or 3 classes, some days I'll be running 3 classes or something. Yeah, then you need some help with that to make sure.
I agree. I agree.
But I don't like it when the new guys come in and say, "Oh no, I need a mechanic because I can't do it." Well, if you don't do it, you're never going to learn how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So so having a mechanic is very nice. But I know Akil. Yeah, he does need some help sometimes. Really nice guy.
He does.
I know he does because I tell him. Yeah. I've got absolutely no qualms about that at all because he's done a fantastic job with Adam. He really has.
He is. Adam's really good. He's a very well-spoken. He doesn't speak much, but Bro is good people. I like talking to Bro. I have to explain some things to him sometimes, but good dude, good people.
No, he is. He's a good guy. Very passionate about what he does. Always willing to help people out, and he's actually, when we were doing work on the track, he's the only guy that'll come down and volunteer. Everybody else, if you want help, you have to try and drag them.
Also, in my travels working, I've gotten to work with a lot of Asian people who like Asian workers who have, they're away from home for many, many years. So we've talked about that. I understand that, especially working in the tunnel. Like you would see it too in your industry as well. People being away from home for people don't understand 2 years. And I know that's the type of life he kind of lived just talking to him. And I understand that. And he's just enjoying life with his family and his kids. And he's doing a good job of raising them. Nice, very nice family. And I wouldn't have known anything about Malaysian RC had I not met him. So let's talk about that. Malaysia RC, not on the radar of many people. Unfortunately, RC in Asia isn't really on the radar of many people. I mean, if it isn't obviously maybe Thailand and Japan and Australia, but I like to learn about different countries.
I think the RC in Malaysia, I mean, we've suffered. I think we suffered quite a lot with it in the last sort of 3 or 4 years.
Why would that be? What's the reason for that?
No, it's just I think it was the people that were coming in. They were trying to help. They were trying to do the right thing, but inadvertently did it incorrectly. We lost one track, which was our main track, which was the track that everybody knew, 3 Stone Park, and it was a really good layout and things, and a nice big area. Drainage was good, and driver stand. It was a really good setup, and we did try saving that, but we've lost that now. So there's not many tracks left.
How many do you have?
I think we got one down in the south. We got one in the north, maybe two in the north actually, and then in central we've only got one.
So
For the
where are
off-road
you
section.
located, in central or?
I'm central. I'm
Okay.
central, just outside.
So
of
what's your track
Glasgow.
called there in where you are?
So our track, which is about an hour away from me, depending on how fast I'm driving, but that's Putrajaya. It's P6. It's
Okay.
actually very close to the airport. So it's a good location actually for the airport. It's very close. It's about 20 minutes away. There's hotels and things around there. So if I'm going for a race weekend, I'll just go and stay at a hotel just next
Right,
to the
right.
track
Make a
there.
weekend out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, just make the weekend out of it. Go down on a Friday night and come home on a Sunday. Yeah,
Okay.
but that track that's been looked after by the URCC. It's the United Radio Control Car Club.
That's
So
Malaysian Federation?
it's under the Malaysian, yeah.
No, but is
Federation.
it the Association for Malaysia, or how does that?
No,
how does that-
that's just the track. That's
Okay,
just
like a club. A club. Okay, I got you.
club. Yeah, it's just a club.
Okay.
So that's the main one that we got now. So I try and help out these guys as well as much as possible. Funding is most tracks will have funding is very difficult, and trying to get things organized. But the track, the guys are putting in a lot of effort to get it all working properly. And we would like to try and do some races for a lot of the Asia guys and things
Like a international Asian race. Get the Australians up there. Get
exactly.
the Thais over. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're working towards that, and it's getting there. But there's the safety side where we just need to just get a bit better on that. We had Mike. Sorry, we had Mike Craddock out here.
Oh, is he?
What was that? He came out earlier this year, January.
Yeah,
he came out in January.
Yeah,
he came out in January, and then we went up to Vietnam. But so he came out. He said, "No, the track's really good, very good." So everybody was pleased, to have somebody like Mike coming out and say, this is fine for racing with, and it is. But it's that first impression. I strongly believe it's that first impression, because if you're going to show something off, you want people to come back. You want it to be a track where they say, "That was just awesome. Right, I want to come back here and I want to race again." Yeah.
Make it nice. It's in a tourist area. It's perfect. You can make a vacation out of it. And
it's not so much in a touristy area. I mean, it's a very nice lake and everything around it, and there's other things to be done. And Kuala Lumpur's only like 30-minute drive away. So yeah, so the tourist side of it, yeah, you can do all of that. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And that's the track that I saw you do the walk around with the drone, correct?
Yeah, that was me playing with my drone.
Yeah, I got to learn how to do that myself.
I'd been pushed by one of the drivers here, Alfie, to get this drone. He said, "You got to get this drone. Right, okay, go." And I'd finished work for the day, and I thought, "Yeah, I'll try this tracking," and it worked out quite well. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And then edited the video a bit. I was just down there. It took me about 5 minutes to upload it. I don't think I've got so many hits on a video.
It was cool.
But it was good. So yeah, building the track. It was the first one I've ever designed. It was the first one I've ever built, and it was really good fun. I had the Bobcat down there. Actually, Akil was down there and doing the work, and he tried to drive the Bobcat and tip it over. Almost gave me a heart attack. Oh my god!
My gosh!
Oh, it was.
Oh my gosh!
But he put the effort in. A lot of the guys. We did make some mistakes on that track, where it was a bit difficult for the mechanics to see. So I think once we get out of this, at the moment we're on the controlled movement lockdown. So once we start to be able to move around again, then we're going to just change a few bits on the track.
Sweet.
And try and get it back working again. Yeah, we're trying different materials and oils and.
The oil seems the way to go, man. They're doing it they've been doing it in England forever, but a really good example is the track in Australia, Pine Hills. They've been using the oil.
Yeah.
Hearts uses the oil, obviously.
Yeah, I spoke to the guys down in Pine Hill about the oil, how much they needed, and everything. They were very helpful. So we're gonna be trying a few different things. We've tried the molasses, and that worked actually quite well.
But it kind of washes away, right?
Well, no. I spoke to Edward So over in the Philippines, And I had a bit of a discussion with him. How does he do it? And there's a bit of a long process to it, and a lot more work. But it doesn't just simply wash away. It's how you apply it. If you just
We
lay it
did
on
a
the top, the rain comes, and it's gone.
we did a glue track here, and it was a smaller track, and it used like a white limestoney type of sandy. We call it caliche here, but it's like a limestoney type of. And it's got a little clay and stuff in it, but it was, when it dries out, it's dusty. And man, he put a mix of like Elmer's glue. He would buy it like not Elmer's, but white glue. You mix that with water. You break it down. I think it was like 3-to-1, and then add like some vinegar and just spray it all over the track. Let it dry. For the first couple of runs, it's super high traction, but as it breaks in, it gets some rubber in. It starts to, and when it rains, it's like just drifting, and it doesn't ruin the track. Like you can just sweep the water right off it, and but it does wear away. You have to apply it maybe every few months or whatever. But yeah, I get it for rain and all that stuff. You want to try and keep the track as pristine as possible.
That's what they were using, that sort of stuff in Vietnam, the glue.
Okay.
And that was pretty good.
David's track.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's David's track. I think he goes there a lot. David, Vietnam. There's two David Lims.
Oh my gosh!
There's David Lim Vietnam, who is actually from Malaysia, and then you got David Lim Malaysia. Yeah.
Right. David Lim lives in Vietnam. I call him Crazy David. Is definitely a character. He is.
He's a character.
I know he sends me pictures of his parrots and all this type of stuff, and is into RC boats. Is definitely unique. Good dude though. It's so funny how we're so far apart, but we kind of know the same people. Amazing. RC is so small. So a little brief history on RC in Malaysia. Like, how long has it been there? Who's probably the fastest driver they have produced? I guess it's David Lim, because I've heard his name come up. And to what level was the top Malaysian driver? What level did he get to on the world scene?
In terms of RC in Malaysia, it's been going around quite a long time, actually. I mean, I hear stories of the guys. They were, they tell me the stories of when they were just racing on bits of grass, and they just made some jumps out of bits of wood and things like this, and how everybody's got it so easy these days, and how it's so nice it is these days. So it's been going on a long time. I think David Lim has been probably been racing since late 90s.
Okay.
And a lot of the guys were around that sort of time. So it's been around quite a long time, and it's just been passed on. There's very few people of them old-time people that are still around. They've all sort of like moved on or doing other things. Danny Tay, who was quite famous over here as well. I don't know whether you heard with him, but Danny Tay, he was really good for the RC scene. Okay. He was a lot like JQ. I think the
really?
both of them have a very same sort of character. It doesn't matter. It's just if that's what's on my mind, that's what I'm saying.
An Asian version of JQ.
It is. It's an Asian version of JQ.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I can handle that.
but really nice guy, and he really did put in the work and the effort for the guys here. He was the one who actually helped me to keep things going. Okay. He trained me up for a while. So yeah, for the old timers, there's not many of them left now. It's all sort of like new people. Over the last 5 years, it's been amazing how many new people have been joining in. Whether they were bashers or things.
Mm-hmm.
And then
how many people do you get at a race?
Well, now we've built it up quite well, I think. Over the last 2 years, it seriously died. We had something like around 30 drivers, 20 drivers about 2 or 3 years ago. And now we're back up again. Now I think we've probably got around 80.
That's good.
80 drivers, which is really good. The EP scene has really taken off.
Really,
which surprised me, which has been good for the 8th EP. So the guys are really enjoying that.
Electric e-buggy for my American friends. Electric e-buggy is called EP.
EP, electric powered.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll speak proper English.
hey, say aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah. And say battery.
Battery.
I love it. That's the two words: aluminium and battery.
Well, yeah, US is aluminum, isn't it? Aluminum.
Yeah, I say aluminum and I say battery. I say them both, but it's funny.
Battery.
That's good. So you out of David Lim and Danny Tay, who would you think was the fastest who made it to the higher level?
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
who was the highest level of racing? The highest driver, like in
When
Malaysian history?
I started about 5 years ago, David Lim, he was the guy. He was always on top. He'd been kicking like Danny's butt and everybody else's butt for a long time.
Okay.
Since then, I think the fastest driver, if you look at the points at the moment, fastest driver is always Baby Boy, Jade Lim.
Okay.
He's a really fast guy. He's won the on road as well. I think it was on GP. He won the GP in Malaysia for Femca, and so he does really well. A lot of people struggle to keep up with him.
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily say he was the fastest. He was very consistent at a high speed.
Okay.
Then we got Mizan, who's a very good driver as well, very consistent. Loves driving the what do you call it? Not EP. What do you call it?
E-buggy.
E-buggy. Okay, he enjoys driving the e-buggy. Then Adam. Adam actually started around the same sort of time as me, but he just being a younger kid, his reactions being a lot faster. He just took off ahead of me. So Adam is just, I think he would do really well if he wasn't getting so many failures with the car.
Yeah,
But
I've been through this with his father.
Yeah, and but he knows it, and they're working on it and trying to figure it out. So it's so I think Adam has got a really good shot of being able to beat Jade. But he needs to put in that time, put in the practice, and his mechanic needs to pick his ideas.
Hey, that's where the race is won, on the bench, man. When is you guys' next race?
We've had to postpone our nationals now 2 times, so I think our next one is probably going to be in January.
Okay.
The way things are going here.
All right.
But I want to try and finish out the season. So I actually organise all of the national races. I got named the president for RC Malaysia.
There you go. I was about to say how involved are you, but there you go.
Yeah.
You are the president.
RC Malaysia, so I get to sort of things out of that. But I'm trying to focus a bit more towards the on-road now.
Really?
And trying to get to know the guys in there, because the on-road track for me is like 10 minutes away.
Is the on-road scene big there, or is it a little bit smaller than the off-road?
I think it's a little bit. It's still good from what I see, but I think it's a little bit smaller than the off-road.
Okay.
A lot of people still prefer the.
It's more expensive, too. I would say, and I remember Bro dabbled in it a little bit last year, I think, and Adam raced it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Adam raced it for a couple of races, and he was telling me, "Oh, it's so expensive, tires and engines." I say, "Yeah, it's different." But yeah, I like on-road too. That the GP is so fast, man, so fast, so awesome. I know it's big in Asia. I think it's Europe and Asia are the biggest locations for the on-road scene in RC right now. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna like that. You're gonna be going through engines. You're gonna be like, you're gonna have about 5 engines just for on-road. I can see it.
I'll just be on the phone constantly with Frederica. Send me another.
There you go. All right, let's talk about a little bit about RC in Asia. You've been fortunate to travel around. It is split up. I kind of wanted to know where Malaysia. I'm sorry, where does Malaysia kind of stand? I think, like in the rankings of countries in RC right now, compared to the other Asian countries.
Where do we stand? I'll tell you what, it's been so long since we've been, because we haven't been able to do any sort of race or anything this year neither. And I missed last year's Femca race because I was over at where was I? I was over in the UK. I was doing a race there for the
EXR.
Yeah, DXR, and it was just too close. So where we actually rank at the moment, I'm not too sure, but I think we would rank sort of middle of the pack sort of thing. don't think we're the fastest guys yet. I think we've still got a lot to learn. But I definitely don't think we're the slowest group out there.
Okay, who do you think? Okay, aside from Australia, because Australia, like we know Australia, they have Kyle McBride, they have Alex Bernard, Zach. We've had Australian guys in there, so I'm not including Australia. I want to deal with just the mainland Asian companies, including Philippines, any countries like that.
Yeah.
Who's right now? Who's producing the best quality? Who's got the best RC scene and producing the fastest races in mainland Asia right now? Would you say?
Well, I think that was going to be a tough question. To be honest, I think that's a bit of a difficult question to answer.
Because like Thailand, it was big. Japan seems big. I know like but I think Japan's kind of like on the level of maybe Thailand, I would say, because there's a couple of good guys from Thailand that do really well at the Worlds too.
There's some good guys there. There's some good guys in the Philippines as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
it's a hard question, man. I would have to say Japan. Because they got like Noato and Masami and all that there.
I think you might be right with that. Even because Korea,
yes,
got some good drivers in Korea. Got some awesome drivers there. But
Kevin Lee, I think his name is. He drives for Agama. He's really good.
Yeah, you got Kevin Lee. Then we got Danny for Kyosho. He does pretty well. Yeah, but I think Japan may not. Yeah, I think that would probably be a good hazard. A good guess would probably be Japan.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. That's a really good question because it's kind of similar to. I like to call it's similar to South America, where it's big, but each country was just at a different level than the other. So, like for me, Argentina was at the highest level. They've produced really like the guys I saw there. 2 guys there that were fast. They were fast. Brazil, I would say, was second. And then Colombia third, and then you had like Bolivia, Ecuador. Then all the smaller countries where ours was a little smaller. Yeah. I like to see stuff like that, and it'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave Indonesia out of the mix because I always remember going to Indonesia. It's, holy crap! I'll see the guys in Malaysia.
Right.
Go to Indonesia. It's, holy crap! These guys are fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some really good drivers as well. But then, you see the Australians get involved in it as well. They come to.
Oh man, that Kyle McBride, that kid Alex Bernardzek, man, he's gonna be talented. I hope he gets to America, and even and even Australia split up because I think that's the East Coast they live on, and then the West Coast, like the Dexters and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Outside of Malaysia, what's your favorite Asian country?
Outside of Malaysia, I think actually. Now I've worked too many times in Korea. I think I'd have to say Indonesia actually.
Yeah,
I quite enjoy Indonesia.
Okay.
The food there is pretty good.
What's your favorite Indonesian meal?
It's I can't remember the bloody name of it now.
All right. Well, what's your favorite Malaysian meal? Then?
I am kunyit.
And what is that?
Indonesian one. It's just like this chicken, or you can have chicken or beef, but it's like quite spicy, and then you have it with like egg and rice and things, and it's with this sambal sauce, which is it's pretty tasty.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hot going in. Oh my god!
If it's hot going in, it's hot coming out, dude.
Oh, it's even worse coming out.
How about in Malaysia? What's like a national Malaysian dish that you like to have?
For me, there's just so bloody many. You have nasi goreng USA, roti bawang. I think the most famous one is probably the nasi lemak. A lot of people eat that for the breakfast. I don't particularly go for that one. It's nice. The rice is very good.
What is it exactly?
Maggi goreng. Nasi lemak is the rice, which is the nasi. Lemak is like the fat. It's like coconut.
Okay.
So it's got the coconut into it, and then they have that with the anchovies, and then this hot sambal sauce.
Oh, okay, like coconut and fishy, hot.
Yeah.
I guess.
They have the boiled egg. Yeah. But the
I would have to try that.
I've not been able to get into that. I've not been able to get into the half-boiled eggs yet.
Oh yeah, I'm what like the yolk's runny or something or?
No, it's like half cooked, so it's not like a hard-boiled egg or anything. It's just like Yeah, they have that with the
I'm gonna have to Google that.
soy sauce. Yeah, yeah, you have a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, but you always gotta. One thing Joseph always tells me is like when you go to he's traveled to, and he's like always have traditional two things. You always gotta have a traditional beer and a local beer and some of the local dishes from there. And I always
Yeah.
try to do that, wherever I go. So good stuff, man.
I think
So
the funniest one was in Vietnam with Mick.
oh gosh,
I've worked in Vietnam, but I've never sort of like really been into the local sort of food there because
Mhm.
really wasn't too sure what I was getting. And so I went up with Mick to do the race. We went out in the evening and said, right, okay, let's just try there. We were too afraid of crossing the road at that time because we weren't too sure what the protocol was. Which we found out is just walk. It doesn't matter. All the bikes will just go left and right of you.
Oh my gosh, that's madness. That's kind of similar
Uh,
here.
oh, I've got videos of it. It was pretty cool actually. It's just you just.
I really want to go to Vietnam, man. It's
But,
a country I want to visit so badly.
so we ordered. I think it was a chicken dinner and some duck as well, and it is literally everything. It came out with the head, the claws, and the feet, the whole thing.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I've never seen a duck like that. With its with its brains fried out and just the bill sticking out.
Oh my gosh. Insane.
But
Oh my god.
it was good.
As long as it tastes good, man.
Yeah.
So what do you see for the future of RC in Malaysia? What would you like to see going into 2021?
Um, Going into 2021, I would like to see more of the club racing going on. We just started that this year, and it's been really good. So people haven't felt that it was so competitive, and so you get a lot of the new guys coming in and trying to race in that. It's good fun.
Mhm.
Um, I'd like to see the more effort going into the club that they've
Mhm.
got there at URCC. More people joining. We seem to have actually after our first lockdown, we seem to have an increase in drivers,
Mm.
which I found absolutely amazing. There's a lot more guys coming out to come and join the
Nobody
race.
has nothing else to do. Bored. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because the Reds was selling quite well throughout the whole period.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd like to be able to see that. I'd like to be able, if we could travel, then yeah, there's loads more that I'd love to be able to do. I mean,
Sweet.
I miss racing over in Europe and things, and going to see friends, as I'm sure a lot of people are as well.
Do you travel to Europe a lot to race?
Um, it's the only reason I started traveling back to Europe. I never went home. I never.
You
I
sound
never.
like me, dude. I get him.
I
I get him.
just never went back. It was only until I started, I think, mixing around with Mike and these sort of people, and sort of like, oh, it's a race. Ah, okay. So I go over there. I've still got some business which I got to attend in the UK as well. So I go and do that, and go and fly around very quickly, go and see some family. But it's really good to go and meet the people over there, because of the Kyosho Masters and things. So as I've been getting more involved with the international races, I've been making more and more friends on an international scale. So it's like, right, I want to go and visit them. No, I want to go and visit them. So
Awesome.
it's good fun being able to do that.
You should come visit me. Ain't much RC going on, but you should come down. How did you meet Mick?
Um, I can't remember, to be honest with you. I think it was during I first really spoke to him during. It was just before. I'll tell you what it was. It was at the Kyosho Masters. I went to the Kyosho Masters. Started talking with him a bit then. I was still a bit standoffish, just this fresh guy into
Mhm.
RC. Don't really know much about it. And then we went out to the Worlds in Vegas. Then I started speaking to him a bit more then, and then I met him at a couple more races, and we just ended up becoming really good friends. It's like
Awesome.
talking to Mick now is like I've known him for better years. He's just
Nice. That's
such
always good.
a nice bloke, and do anything for anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
So,
Mick a lot. I like him a lot, and it's a good crack. It's a good crack, man.
oh
You
yeah,
know, I love the jokes. Good stuff, man. Um, I guess we're
getting
gonna.
around him is dangerous.
And he likes to poo in crazy places too. Pilsner classification.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. What would you like to see happen for in RC in general in Asia? Would you like to see it get a little bit more spotlight, a bit more focus? Because it seems to get swept under the rug a good bit. You know, not too much focus on RC there.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see a bit more focus being put onto the RC. I mean, we've been trying here. I went and bought all the video equipment so we can do live streaming for our races and things like that, so that people could try and get a bit more involved with it. And I think it's been working to a certain extent, and it's nice for people to be able to see that sort of thing. But I know that Perth is probably one of the tracks that I've tried to emulate a lot of what they do. I think they have a fantastic track down there, and the team really works very well together. And I just don't think there's enough racing going on within the other countries. I know that a lot of people. You have one or two people. No, I'm going to Vietnam. No, I'm going to the Philippines. But I'd like to see it more on a sort of like a team sort of scale. The whole
like a series, an Asian series would be great.
Would be something like that. I mean, I know there's been things that have been talked about for Kyosho doing it, but I think I'd like to do it for
everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Just and have them. I mean, Femca is great. You do it once a year, but I think it'd be nice to do a sort of series sort of thing. And I don't think we're not that far apart that we aren't not able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the hardest part would be like if you have to include Australia and you have to fly there, and that's still not too far.
Even then, yeah, it's not that bad. Well, unless you're up in Japan or somewhere, then it's a bit far. But for us guys here in the central, we're 6 hours away from like Perth or something like that.
That's not bad. Unless it's over on the east side of Australia, and then it's like 12 hours away.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bit further that side.
Good stuff, man. I think it's very similar to South America. I mean, at least we have some. Asia has some pro guys. I mean, obviously Yuchi Kanai, Hara, Nayato. All the companies are based over there in Asia. Yep. But I still think on a scale of getting people's knowledge about what the RC scene over there, it's limited. Even to myself, I've learned more. Well, it's even less known about in South America, where it's still, I've had the pleasure, obviously because of Latin influence, of being around that and getting to know that the RC scene there. So it's good. I wanted to, one of the reasons I wanted to get you on the podcast was to learn more about Malaysia RC. Yes, I've had people talk about it, about RC in Asia, about one particular country, and it's to shine some light on that particular country's RC scene and as their continent as well. So man,
it takes a lot of hard work to try and build up these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the newer drivers and trying to get them into it and not spending so much. It drives me crazy when you see the new guys coming in and all they're doing is spending money. Thinking
so easy to do.
That's going to make them the pro driver. And all they end up doing is either they burst the budget or it's like, no, this is just too expensive. I don't want to do it anymore. Exactly. It doesn't need to be like that. And it's getting it through to these guys. I think the shops maybe push too much on these guys. Obviously, they want to make their sales and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. That's their business. But I think it's trying to push too much onto these new drivers and things as well.
I could agree there.
Yeah.
How's Kyosho's influence over there now? Being as it's a Japanese company. It's one of the biggest. Used to be one of the biggest 8-scale race scenes in the world. It's not as big as it used to be. Obviously, so many different chassis. Is it still a very popular choice in Asia?
Yeah, in Asia, especially in Malaysia, Kyosho does very well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we get all the guys down from the north, they come down and some of the guys up from the south. So we have a good following. I think Mugen now is becoming one of the biggest. I wouldn't say problems, but one of the biggest competitors.
I know what you mean. Oh, your old rivals down there knocking on your door. I see that park's super big there too.
He moved into the Mugen as well, which surprised the hell out of me. But and they've tried to get me to turn and go.
Oh yeah, that'd be if you turn to Mugen, then I think if that'd be like if Mick Craddock left Kyosho, like I think hell would freeze over. What do you think about
I
did
think,
you
you should kill me. Eh?
so you saw JQ's tune-in video. What do you think about his grand plan if he gets 10,000 subscribers of buying a Kyosho and doing the Kyosho master for once? He's so crazy, isn't he?
Well, I don't know whether if he's allowed to come to the Masters. You know, it's a very upmarket place.
I don't think he'd be allowed through the front gate, to be honest. I don't think he'd be allowed into France. But I hope if he does get 10,000, I hope he tries. I hope he does it. And
I'll tell you what, I was talking with Mick about this the other day actually, and I did say to him it was actually the video he did.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, a lot of people have had issues with JQ, and I think he actually likes that as well.
I do too.
When he was battling on Facebook, the way it came across to me, I thought, oh my God, this guy is such a bloody ass. And I really didn't like him. But I tell you what, I thought that the ideas that he has, they're really good. It was just the way they're getting put across. And watching that tuning video, actually, it was really good. I thought it was put across really well. There was a bit of fun in it. I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. And definitely, that sort of environment, I would definitely support it. Yeah. And I'd ask anybody else to try and support that as well.
Awesome. Awesome. I hope he does go to the Kyosho Masters. And I would love to.
I will definitely be there.
All right, my man. Hey, do you want to shout out and say thank you to anybody before we sign off her? I appreciate your time. So here's your time to shout out. Also give any information to anybody that might be interested in coming to Malaysia to do some RC stuff. You can
no, shout out is just shout out to all my RC friends and things, and you know, to stay safe, and hopefully we can get this through this COVID and start traveling again and trying to meet up and do things. You know, and shout out to the guys at the clubs and organising the races, and thank you for keeping it going. And you know, I hope we can continue with that.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to do it, if somebody's coming to Malaysia, you never know, somebody might be traveling there. They want to do some RC. Can they contact you on Facebook?
Yeah, it's anybody, anytime. You know, there's myself. There's a few other guys up. Well, there's a lot of people up on the Facebook. But yeah, if you're looking to come over here, you want to get things organised, there's myself, or I can put you in touch with the other guys as well. And everybody's really friendly here. If you need help with like booking hotels and whatever it is, showing you around, you know, there's always guys around that'll help out with that.
Sweet. All right, man. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I know it's getting late there. It's almost 10 o'clock.
No problem.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I'll tell you what I did want to bring up was, and I'll tell you why, because I know that you get a lot of viewers and everything. Have you seen RC Garage?
What is that? Is it that like sign up site or something like, or like a profile site?
It's RC Garage. It's this guy's been developing for a while. We tried to do something in Malaysia, just never took off. And it's really good. It's all your points. Everybody around the world is taking all your points. You can go and build all your garage. So you can have all your photo of your car up there, and all the information's on there to let other people see what you're running and things. And it's producing stickers as well, which has got like a QR code on it. So you can put these stickers on your chassis, on your car, and you take the phone out, and it'll take you to that information. But I went on there the other day, and I found all my history of all my races.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know. We're talking about the same spot. I haven't been on there yet.
No, it's
I have actually. Did I?
They're still working on it, and I've told the guys that I'll try and help them out as much as I possibly can with it, because I've seen some problems with it. But it's pretty good. I see Ongaros on there and things. And,
okay. What's the website? Is www.rcgarage.com?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, okay. It's somewhere like that.
I think I did look myself up there. I've been kind of busy with the House of RC stuff with Connie too, so it's a lot of things going on with that. But I'm gonna check it out. I think I did look under to see if they have my last race, and I think they have my last race from 2017. Yeah, that's what it was.
But I think it's a good way of letting people know, and and you can see what individuals are actually doing, and yeah, it was
Sweet.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
W,
Okay,
I think it's. I'll try to find the website and put it in the written description of this podcast. Thank you for your time, dude. You have a good evening, and we'll be in touch. And I'll be looking forward to what's going on there in Malaysia and seeing what you guys do.
Looking forward to having you over here, Lefty.
All right, I hope so one day.
Okay,
All right.
mate. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much for your time. All
Thank
right,
you.
you take care. All right, bye-bye.